This is an area you're very familiar with, working high up in intelligence for the IDF, working here up north. What's your immediate reaction and impression to what happened just last night with Iran trying to barrage Israel with missiles?
I think what we saw yesterday is an example how the Iranian regime doesn't understand science and messages. I think Israel, from the Prime Minister Netanyahu all the way down to the Chief of Staff and the army, is saying to the Iran regime, don't test us. We will not allow you to go into Syria. We will not do the same mistakes as we did with Lebanon and Hezbollah.
Iran is here, in their view, they're here to stay in Syria, right? Just a mile from where we're standing right now. We're in Israel right now, but less than a mile from where we're standing right now, Iran is determined to have a permanent presence here at Israel's doorstep in Syria.
Yes, Iran took a strategic decision a couple years ago to open a front here with us. What we saw yesterday is the struggle between us and them, but us not allowing them to do it. It will take time. It's the Middle East, you know, people think slowly and sometimes react slowly, but we have patience. And we will not allow it. It's very simple, you know.
Yeah.
I think it was clear not only to Iran yesterday, also to Hezbollah, that is looking upon this event and said, okay, the game is changed now.
Yeah, that's an interesting factor here, Marco. You know, again, working in Israeli intelligence during your time in the IDF, you worked frequently, specialized up here in the north. You're very familiar with Hezbollah. How do they factor into all of this, maybe even into an Iranian response?
If I'm Hezbollah now, sitting now in Dahya, it's in the west part of Beirut, I'm also need to recalculate my route. Because I think what Israel showed here to Hezbollah and Iran, that we have seems to be a very good intel about what's going on. So if we react for 20 missiles as we react yesterday, imagine what will happen if something worse will happen.
This has been a very eventful week between the strikes here in Syria and President Trump pulling out of the Iran nuclear deal. What are your thoughts on that? As an Israeli, a great thing, I believe, as an American, a great thing for the United States. Talk about your thoughts on it.
I think President Trump sent two messages recently to the Middle East and to the world. To the Middle East, President Trump said, if there is dinner and you're not invited, you will find yourself on the menu. The second message President Trump sent to the world, especially to North Korea, is once President Trump is taking the sword out, he will not take it back to the belt very quickly.
In the Middle East, they respect strength.
Yes.
And he's showing strength.
He's showing strength and he sees things clearly.
Yeah.
He's not confused. Good for us that we have President Trump that is taking care of us and watching our back here.
And good to see the leader of the free world showing some moral clarity. And again, a big week, Marco. We have what's going on. We hear some gunfire, I think, in the distance right now in Syria, right behind us, by the way. What a week. What an amazing time to be here in the Golan Heights. And by the way, folks, there's things Marco knows that he can't tell us. So we appreciate what you did share, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us here in the Golan. Thanks, Marco. Well, coming up after the break, the one and only Pastor John Hagee joins us from that Syrian border to share what all of these battles mean for Israel, America, and you. Folks, you won't want to miss these prophetic insights from Pastor Hagee. Don't move.